All set! Phone it in!
I'm calling it.
Grand Theft Auto V is so far the last game of the biggest open-world game series ever. It was developed by Rockstar Games and released in 2013 to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, but along the years it was also released on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One and Series, and Windows. Some version brought really interesting features for the game, as the first-person mode, and some new side quests and mini-games in the story mode.
Bros, I wouldn't stay in there too long, okay? This alarm is gonna go at some point.
You gotta be kidding me! Why did I employ a hacker who can't run antivirus software?
Shit, okay, the alarm hasn't gone off yet.
When a young street hustler, a retired bank robber, and a terrifying psychopath find themselves entangled with some of the most frightening and deranged elements of the criminal underworld, the U.S. government, and the entertainment industry, they must pull off a series of dangerous heists to survive in a ruthless city in which they can trust nobody, least of all each other.
Friend, Mr. K.
My pleasure. I love helping our government wage war, especially with itself.
But you made a mistake.
Did I, Cupcake?
Why don't you keep your fucking voice down before I close your fucking windpipe? The joke stopped now, pal. You will show me and my team some respect.
Maybe you could define team for me.
The game is an evolution of the fourth game. It's less realistic and more charismatic, approaching more the arcade style than simulation. In all aspects, story, gameplay, physics, and all the rest. The world is now hyped about the next game of the series, that for now is confirmed to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, coming out on May 26, 2026, and promises to be the greatest game of all time.
What's going on?
Let's go.
Go, 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 go!
We were meant for this, Nathan. You, me, together. We were destined for something great.
Uncharted 4 is the ultimate Nathan Drake adventure in this amazing third-person shooter video game series. It was developed by the studio Naughty Dog and released in 2016 to PlayStation 4. But nowadays, it's also on PlayStation 5 and Windows, and is extremely beautiful to this day.
I'm a man of fortune, and I must seek my fortune. So, are you ready to seek your fortune?
From thick jungles to snow-capped mountains, exotic islands to rain-soaked streets, explore every inch of stunningly beautiful environments in spectacular detail. Immerse yourself in the cinematic storytelling with realistic graphics, fluid gameplay mixing stealth and action combat with a lot of charisma and style. For fans of fun story games, this is a masterpiece with the best gameplay and graphics of the series, also bringing the last adventure of this charismatic character with new enemies, friends, and much more. Beyond this game, there's also Uncharted Lost Legacy. That's a standalone game of the series, is really similar to Uncharted 4. So if you enjoy the universe of the game, it's also a great experience, and obviously, the classic Uncharted games are also really good. Uncharted 2 even won the Game of the Year award in 2009. An amazing game.
Or we can just end it right here.
There's gotta be another way. I need you on this one.
From today forward, your lives will be forever changed.
Wait, Jackie Ma, I'm in.
Find a way to make him trust you.
Sleeping Dogs is an incredible GTA-like. The game was developed by the studio United Front Games and released in 2012 to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows. But in 2014, the game received a remastered version and was also released on Mac OS, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Welcome to Hong Kong, a vibrant neon city teeming with life, whose exotic locations and busy streets hide one of the most powerful and dangerous criminal organizations in the world, the Triads. As Wei Shun, an undercover cop trying to take down the Triads, you'll have to fight your way up the organization without blowing your cover. A game with a world similar to the Grand Theft Auto series, but with its own style, since the structure of missions, storytelling, characters, side quests, and the gameplay itself, all with a lot of quality and personality. The open world is beautiful and immersive, with a lot of different vehicles, impressive main quests, and infinite side quests and mini-games that will give you a lot of things to do in a search for 100%. So I assure you that if you like open world action games, there's no mistake in Sleeping Dogs.
Whatever it takes, you remember that?
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is one of the biggest open-world RPG games ever released. It was developed by Bethesda and released in 2011, winning as the best game of the year, and was launched on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows. But in the next years, it was released in basically all platforms possible. Play any type of character you can imagine, and do whatever you want. The legendary freedom of choice, storytelling, and adventure of the Elder Scrolls is realized like never before. Set in an immersive open world, where everywhere you go you will find something interesting. It's a simple dungeon to a whole amazing quest line. Skyrim is a type of game that will give you many main quests, and if you just follow them, it won't be as amazing as it could be. The game is almost infinite content, but to see all that you'll need to explore and discover, since the game won't tell you and show all you can do, but interacting to the NPCs, you'll be always discovering more and more about the universe and possibilities. And all that makes the experience even more immersive, as if you were really living in a fantasy medieval world.
People see me and think they're safer. But it's not really me they're seeing. Probably for the best. Knowing everything hinges on a guy from Queens sounds as scary as it feels.
Spider-Man is the definitive game of this beloved and classic character from the comic books. It was developed by the studio Insomniac Games and released in 2018 only on PlayStation 4, but was also released on Windows and PlayStation 5 in the future, and remains to this day an insane Spider-Man experience in games.
Who's their leader?
Keep my men alive and maybe I'll tell you.
The worlds of Peter Parker and Spider-Man collide in an original action-packed story. Play as an experienced Peter Parker fighting big crime and iconic villains in Marvel's New York. Web swing through vibrant neighborhoods and defeat villains with an epic gameplay, mixing combat, stealth, insane cutscenes, and an immersive New York to explore as the amazing Spider-Man.
Hey, big guy.
The game is a true Spider-Man experience, a game that's not just good as a game, but also as a fan service for fans of his classic character, within numerous references to the movies and comic books. Beyond this game, there's also Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2 that are also really good, but for me the best is still the original, with the best Peter Parker, story, and villains, and is easily among the best superhero games ever released.
When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes.
Fallout New Vegas is a first-person shooter RPG game. It was developed by the studio Obsidian Entertainment and released in 2010 to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Windows. And unfortunately, so far there's no new version to the new consoles.
As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law.
It's the most beloved game of the series to this day, set in an immersive world with interesting characters, amazing progression, and nice storylines, being the only first-person game of the series created by this studio that also developed South Park, The Stick of Truth, Pillars of Eternity, Outer Worlds, and more.
As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert.
Feel the heat in New Vegas. Not even nuclear fallout could slow the hustle of Sin City. Explore the vast expanses of the desert wastelands, from the small towns dotting the Mojave wasteland to the bright lights of the New Vegas Strip. See the great Southwest as could only be imagined in Fallout. A game with a really immersive universe. Everywhere you go and explore, you'll find something useful, a weapon, resources, and more. The combat is not like a Call of Duty game, since it's an RPG game, but more you play, more you'll learn, making it always get more and more satisfying to discover and explore.
The Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat.
We're at war. No one wants to admit it, but humanity is under attack. One very specific man might be all that stands between humanity and the greatest threat of our brief existence.
Mass Effect 2 is an immersive and unique RPG game first released in 2010, released by the studio BioWare, that nowadays are not that good. But back then, this studio was legendary, and the game is available on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows, but the Legendary version, that's a remaster of the first games, is also available on PlayStation 4 and 5, GeForce Now, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and also Windows.
They're coming around for another attack!
Are you prepared to lose everything to save the galaxy? You'll need to be Commander Shepard. It's time to bring together your greatest allies and recruit the galaxy's fighting elite to continue the resistance against the invading Reapers. It's a massive RPG game with over 40 hours of content if you want to do everything, all with high quality, interesting characters, nice storytelling. That's also shaped by your decisions along the game. That will also change your relationship with other characters, and of course, an interesting gameplay and combat, set in a third-person shooter style with a lot of weapons, abilities, and scenarios.
I will show you true power.
We need a leader. And surround them with the brightest, the toughest, the deadliest allies we can find.
Resident Evil 4 Remake is one of the best remake of video games ever released. It was developed by Capcom and released in 2023 to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series, and Windows, and is one of the best survival horror games ever released that every fan of horror got to play once in life.
Your soul requires cleansing.
Ashley Grimm, are you in here?
6 years have passed since the biological disaster in Raccoon City. Leon Kennedy, one of the survivors, tracks the president's kidnapped daughter to a secluded European village where there is something terribly wrong with the locals.
She did.
Temperance, child.
I've taken the liberty of preparing some entertainment for you. The entertainment. Without further ado.
The gameplay is a mix of the original Resident Evil 4 with Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake, and it worked really well in this game, with a fluid gameplay filled with insane action moments, but also moments with a horror rise. The story is basically the same of the original game, but changed in some specific parts. What even brings an interesting difference to this game, its story is even better here for me. There are reasons for things to happen that in the original didn't, so it's a game that you really need to play.
And come, Sancho Panza! Let us rescue the Princess Dulcinea!
You gotta hurt yourself.
You are truly as he anticipated. This is truly an unjust game. But if my voice is reaching you, I beg you, please overcome this game and save the world.
I'll never...
Persona 5, probably the biggest JRPG ever created. A game with a huge universe and lore, and it's the favorite game of many people around the world. It was developed by Atlas and released in 2016 to PlayStation 3 and 4, but there are different versions too, which you can play on almost all current consoles and PC. Don the mask and join the Phantom Thieves of Hearts as they stage grand heists. Infiltrate the minds of the corrupt and make them change their ways. That's the Steam briefing of the game. The gameplay mixes a lot of features: exploration, dialogue choices, combat, which is a turn-based combat, and much more. The universe of the game is huge, with many different characters, all really interesting. And as you play, you'll get even more connected to these characters. So I'm sure that if you like JRPG games, this one will probably be the biggest one you'll ever play, at least until the next Persona game. The story takes about 97 hours to be finished, and if you want to do more than just the story, it could go up to 170 hours.
Allow me to observe the path of your rehabilitation. Gather personas and bring them here. Execute them and continue to give birth to even stronger personas. The world is not as it should be. It faces an inevitable utter ruin. However, mankind is said to hold the power to overturn even the most dire of predicaments.
Is a fearsome dog that feeds off trouble and turmoil. I seen him clear the deck of a Spanish galleon like it were nothing.
Assassin's Creed 4 is a unique game of this amazing series. It was released 1 year after Assassin's Creed 3 and was inspired in side quests that was available in that game. But they simply created the best game about pirates released to this day. It was developed by Ubisoft and released in 2013 to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii U, and Windows. But along the years, it was also released on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. And if you play for the first time today, you simply won't believe this game is over 10 years old. The year is 1715. Pirates rule the Caribbean and have established their own lawless republic where corruption, greediness, and cruelty are commonplace. Among these outlaws is a brash young captain named Edward Kenway, the protagonist of the game, the grandpa of the Connor of Assassin's Creed 3. The game is really different of the Ezio trilogy. It's more focused in the exploration of the piracy era, and it will allow you to explore and live like a pirate with an insane ship battle system, with many upgrades for both the character and ship, what makes the experience and progression really satisfying.
Fucking pirates!
I'm on to you, Snakesbait!